What is going on, friends? Thank you so much for joining us for a very special treat. I was able to talk to 4 of the fighters that will be showcased this Thursday, June 21st at 5 p.m. live at the Chicago Theater as the MMA world comes back to Chicago. It is the Professional Fighters League, formerly known as the World Series of Fighting. It is its second biggest show coming off of Madison Square Garden. It is going to be a hell of a show, including Will Brooks, hometown kid, who we talked with, and you'll hear from him in just a little bit. You're going to hear from Will Brooks, Sean O'Connell, Chris Wade, and Jason Hyde, all back to back to back to back. We lead off with Will Brooks, a hometown kid. He has an amazing story. We talk about some of the problems that happen in the city of Chicago, what he's doing to help out the community, how he feels about his spotlight, and what he's doing in his professional career. And we have some amazing conversations with Sean O'Connell, Chris Wade, and Jason Hyde. I want to thank all the amazing people over in New York for setting this up. It is the Professional Fighters League, and it continues its regular season. And the road to $10 million comes through Chicago at the Chicago Theater this Thursday, June 21st. But before we get to our interview with Will, Sean, Chris, and Jason, here's a quick message.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all of Nicole's work at typingwhentipsy.wordpress.com. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI@kw.com. What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. Okay, friends, before we get to Will, Chris, Jason, and Sean, a quick heads up. We were doing this kind of guerrilla warfare style. We were not in studio. It was a last-minute thing, and the amazing people in New York were able to set this up. These interviews were conducted through telephones and cell phones, and we did our best to make sure all the audio was cleaned up, so there's amazing stuff in there. If something doesn't sound so good, just give it a second, and it all kind of evens out. But I promise you the content is amazing, and these guys are fun to listen to and very excited to be here in my hometown of Chicago. So sit down and enjoy our interviews with Sean O'Connell, Chris Wade, Jason Hyde, and leading off with hometown kid Will Brooks. Enjoy. Thank you for taking some time for us.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. Thank you so much for joining us. How you feeling coming back to the Windy City to be part of one of the showcases here in the Chicago Theater, the famous Chicago Theater, man? That's awesome.
Man, I'm super hyped. I'm trying to keep myself chill, keep myself calm because I came here to do work. I came here for work. So, but I'm trying to find a balance between being home and being comfortable in my surroundings. But I also trying to look at it as like a business trip and it's work. I'm here to work, So but I'm hyped though.
How do you manage that? I can, every fighter, every fight it's a big one. It's the moment to really set themselves apart, and then you have this extra emotion of, it's a homecoming. You're coming back to the city of broad shoulders, where the legends are. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the sports world, and you get a chance to do your thing, which you do best. But you got to be able to also. It's not just physical; it's mental. How important has that been when it comes to this moment leading up to it, to make sure you are checked and you are on target and you guys are focused on the task at hand?
Well, I mean, it's like you said, from the city of broad shoulders. It's tapping into the culture of who we are as Chicago, and as people from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, it's tapping into that little bit of. I think as people who live in Chicago or from Chicago have a bit of an arrogance or a little bit of an attitude. Where it's like, we could do all things, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like my mindset. So it's one of those things where you're like, I'm back in my original city, I'm back in my environment, and I'm going to push that culture that I've been taught. I want to hold on to that strong-minded will and just be like, okay, now I need to direct it to being back home and fighting in front of my family and friends.
What was it about MMA, mixed martial arts, and just your whole journey in what is such a grind of a sport? We're talking about weight cut. We're talking about killing your body for so many different things, getting punched in the face to get paid, and punching people back, which is the bonus of it. But what was it about MMA that really drove you to it and let you grow and became such a big part of your life?
For me, it was more just, to be honest, in the beginning, it was like I was in a really dark place in my life, and I was just searching for something to give me, give me reason to be here, you know what I mean? And again, this is just at the time I was just in a dark place, and I was thinking that way, and I was just searching for something, and finally, mixed martial arts just came into my life, and me being the competitor that I am, I didn't really look at it as like, I'm in love with the sport. I have a lot of passion for the sport. I have a lot of passion for competing. I have a lot of passion for competing in front of people and being successful at something, and that individual energy that comes along with it, where it's like it's all on you, it's all or nothing. Because if you win, if you lose, you don't get to blame nobody else but yourself. If you win, it's on you, and then it's up to you to give credit to those who brought you along. So throughout the whole thing, it's such an individual aspect to it. And I'm like, I love that. I love that vibe that it's all on you. So that's really what brought me towards the sport, and over time is growing my passion for the sport.
Let's go ahead and keep it funky here. It's our city, and it's not just the black community; it's the Hispanic community. It's a lot of the city has a lot of struggle, has a lot of violence, has a lot of just a lot of roadblocks in its way for people to come up and do better things. And I want to know, in your opinion, do you think this is an outlet, as crazy as it may sound, to fight and to struggle, but in this way to learn discipline and to learn a different type of failure and success? Do you think there is something to maybe a community like Chicago really embracing MMA?
Yeah, definitely, man. It's funny. I was actually having this conversation with a really good friend of mine, Dennis Vargas. Mm-hmm. He's like the mayor of Elgin, Illinois. Yeah. A suburb outside of Chicago, but it's still one of the areas where he faces a lot of different challenges in his neighborhood for years now. But he's like the mayor of Elgin. He's moving pieces and starting like schools and stuff like this, and food banks and different things of that nature. And we were just having this conversation. I was telling him, like, man, I would love to be able to, one day possibly bring something back to Chicago, because I think it is one of those things where we need discipline and we need structure. And there are times where we get more consumed with let's go after the government and the people in charge and look for them to create change, but we do need to step up and create change for ourselves, and one of the ways to do that is getting kids off the streets and putting them in environments where they can learn discipline, and they can learn how to control themselves and know when it's time to fight and how to fight, and not to let me go pick up this weapon and go pick up these drugs because this is all I have, or I'm in desperation mode to create something for myself, and I think through mixed martial arts or anything of that nature, where the main premise and the base and the foundation is teaching patience and control and self-discipline and understanding who you are as a person, and understanding that you're constantly evolving and that you have control over everything around you. Mixed martial arts is one of those things. So I'm definitely in the process of trying to figure out how do I put together something of that nature and bring it back to the community, because this is one of those things where if you could teach one young man the discipline of mixed martial arts and the background behind it, he can also, it's a chain reaction. He can go back and teach his brothers or his friends and different things like that. And I think sometimes something new to the community can help a lot.
Well put, my friend. Well put. How important is it for you to have this platform and to use it? You know, you do your thing every time you enter this cage when you're in your training camp, but you're also aware of how big of a moment it is and how big of a spotlight is put on you and the more success and all the hard work that's put into it. How's that been? How much do you cherish that platform?
Man, I'm 31 now, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, I didn't realize how, like, not to sound arrogant or egotistical, I didn't realize how important my position is, where I have this platform where I can speak up for people who can't speak for themselves, and I have this platform where I can create opportunity for people to not just be viewed in media as like, oh, these thugs and drug dealers and gangbangers and violence and drugs and killing each other and black on black crime and brown on brown crime. And I have an opportunity to present it in a package and put it together and say, look, we are so much greater than what they're putting into the media. We have so much more power than that. And in the position that I'm in now, I just now started realizing it as I've stepped back in my life and educated myself more on the black and brown communities and the history back before slavery, back in Africa and places of that and things of that nature. I'm just realizing that throughout history, it took strong black men and strong individuals in these type of communities to step up and recognize that, hey, I have a great deal of power, and since I have a great deal of power, that means my people, the people that follow me, the people that believe in me, have a great deal of power also, because I can speak for them when nobody wants to hear them speak. I can step up and speak because you can't deny me. You know, you can't keep me out of the media. You can't keep me out of the spotlight because I'm going to keep winning and keep having success. So that's just like my mindset now, and I'm just like, it's just like all of a sudden just fell on me and dawned on me that like, yo, like you have something very special here, and this is your time to put it all together. And all the pieces are falling together, and it's just time to move forward. So that's what my mindset is right now. Well,
I can't say nothing else, but you're a great representative of our city. Welcome home. Any last words for your people?
No, man, just I really hope that everybody has the time to make time to be able to come out to the show and just show support and just be able to come out and experience something different. I think it'll be very beneficial to people, and not just as entertainment, but just being able to see somebody that came from the city and is very excited to be back here, man. I think there's not enough people that come from Chicago, move on and have success, and come back and be jacked up and excited like a Chance the Rapper. That dude he'd be so hyped, and but when he's here, like he's still here, you know, but he'd be so hyped about his city, and it's very difficult to see that in other people, you know. So I want to do my best to emulate what he does and do what he does and just continue that vibe going, you know. So I'm excited, man. I hope that people will be able to make it out to the Chicago Theater this week, Thursday night, and just be there and enjoy, and maybe be able to have some conversation with some different faces and some different people, you know.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you. Good luck, good health, and welcome home, buddy. You deserve all the success.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the time. I appreciate it, man.
No doubt. Good luck, brother.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all of Nicole's work at typingwhentipsy.wordpress.com. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI at kw.com. What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the office. I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. We keep things going. Here is our interview with Sean O'Connell.
Mike, doing great. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for taking some time to us so early in the morning. How you feeling? How you liking Chicago?
Oh, dude, I love Chicago. I got family in the Midwest, so they're in Dubuque, Iowa. I fly through Chicago all the time. My favorite aunt lives in Chicago, so
my man.
Favorite cities in America.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, how do you? Let me ask you this, man. You're a veteran of the sport. You've seen it all. You've done it all. How do you keep focus when you're? I mean, I know it must be easy for people on your level to have it, but for us normal people, how is it to be in a major city like New York, Chicago, LA, when you have such a big night ahead of you to stay focused, to make sure your team stays focused, and that you guys are hitting the targets that you guys want to?
You know, it's interesting because I think a lot of fighters handle it differently. For me, I try almost not to stay too focused on the fight, especially when I'm in a place like this, like last night, before the rain started, I wanted to go to the Cubs game. I like to keep my mind off of the fight until fight day. Now, obviously, there's little 2 and 3 hour windows during your day where you're dialed in on training and you're making sure that the task at hand is the focus. But a fight can become a really daunting thing if you're thinking about it 24 hours a day and if you're focused on it 24 hours a day. So yesterday I was doing a little writing, doing a little work, hanging out, my thing, and now I'm here in Chicago, relaxing. I woke up today, checked my weight, made sure that the weight cut was going to be reasonable, and it will be. I woke up at 218. Got to get down to that 205 limit, obviously.
Right.
So yeah, man, it's going to be a good day, and it's going to be a good next couple of days. But I won't really get dialed in on the fight and focus on the fight itself until about an hour before I have to punch Ronnie Marks in the face.
and I think that's really cool how you're able to really have that division and still have a melting of it. And I wonder, how long did it take you to be able to get both that, to be able to relax and be able to put yourself in a different state of mind, but also, like you said, you're keeping an eye on your weight, and it's one of the biggest problems in our sport right now is a lot of guys and gals just aren't hitting that weight peak, whether it's time or nutrition or whatever. When was it about, what time was it in your career that you thought you found that balance of, I know when it's time to stay strict and I know when to kind of let myself escape and binge Netflix for 2 hours?
Man, it probably wasn't until about my third year of fighting. My first year I was just all intense on the fight all the time, and I realized how exhausting that was. And into my third year is when I started taking on tougher and tougher opponents. And it was like, you know what? This is becoming like a boogeyman to me. I need to be able to compartmentalize and, definitely step back from the intensity of this sport, even when the fight's right around the corner. And I started to learn it probably about year 3 of my fighting career, and now that I'm in, year 11, I think I have a pretty good balance.
Now, At this point, how excited are you to be in a brand that kind of is giving itself a new rejuvenation? It is allowing itself to kind of grow again. How excited are you to be kind of part of that nucleus of young, veteran, and everybody in the middle that really are respectable and going to put on good shows throughout the whole season?
I'll tell you what, I was as skeptical of World Series of Fighting PFL as anyone else. I didn't know if the rebranding thing was going to be effective. I didn't know with all the financial promises if they were going to be able to follow through on that. And they haven't had to pay out any $1 million purses yet, but I cannot emphasize more how professional everything has been handled, how efficient and clean things have been from their end, how much different the fighter treatment is than everything I've experienced in the past, or at least the bigger shows I've experienced in the past. It feels like when I was fighting at home in Utah, right before I kind of made my big jump into the UFC, and I was a big deal back there. I'm not a big deal in the MMA world, but PFL treats all of us like we are, and they know it's because when you motivate people financially, when you motivate people by respecting the work that they're doing for you, it's going to prove itself out when you get in there and compete. And I think we saw in the New York show a couple weeks ago a lot of fighters who felt valued by the company, who felt valued by the fans. They for the first show ever at Madison Square Garden, it's up quite nicely. And it's not like it was in the theater; it wasn't in the garden itself, so you didn't have to sell out 17,000 tickets. But the strategy behind PFL is really excellent. The way that they're building this brand, and they know that it's going to take steps. And I think they've put together a roster of guys that appreciate that, myself included. And I think that they put together a format that fans are really going to get excited about with the playoffs coming after a regular season and things like that. And I'm just thrilled to be part of it. I mean, I was ready to be done with the sport of mixed martial arts. I was ready to just go ahead and ride off into the sunset and be bitter about my last 3 losses because I didn't think that there was anyone who was going to give me an opportunity like this one. And Ray Seffolk gave me a call, and PFL stepped up, and they said, look, man, we know the sport, and we know how it goes, and we know it can be streaky, and we want you to come back and give us one more ride. And I said, well, I don't know. And then they said, well, these are the numbers. And I said, oh, hell yeah.
Sean, you are one of the true gentlemen of this sport. I can't believe you gave us so much. Breaking the fourth rundown for anybody here. We're recording this at 8:30 in the morning on a stormy Tuesday here in Chicago, and you woke up and I know you're on the grind, but thank you so much for taking time. You have any words for Chicago, the show you guys are going to put on Thursday, and what they can expect from you moving forward?
Look, come out to the Chicago Theater. Give another show besides the UFC a chance. I know what people think, that the UFC is the only thing worth it in this sport. It's just not true. There are excellent fighters in the UFC. There are excellent fighters on this PFL roster, and we're all going to put on a show for you on Thursday night. And the best thing about it is that everybody has the exact same thing at stake in these regular season fights. There's not one guy on the card who's hoping for a win and a title shot. Everybody on this card is hoping for a win that gives them points, that allows them a title shot, that allows them to win $1 million and take care of their family. Everybody on the card has the exact same thing at stake, and you can't find that in any other show. So come to Chicago Theater, hang out with us, watch these fights, and let's do the damn thing.
Sean, you are amazing, buddy. Good health. Good luck this Thursday. You have a home here in Chicago. Obviously, you got the family in the Midwest. You love our Cubbies, so you're always more than welcome here. Next time you're in town, we'll take care of you, buddy, okay?
Appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time with me.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI@KW.com. MercadoAirwaves.com.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all of Nicole's work at typingwhentipsy.wordpress.com. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
Another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. Up next is our interview with Chris Wade. Enjoy.
Mike, how are you?
Appreciate you taking some time. How you liking the city?
I'm loving the city. Loving it. We haven't been to Chicago, so we were out walking around yesterday. This place is awesome.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Sorry that, of course, when you guys get in, the weather gets bad, but, you know, there's going to be a storm over Chicago Theater, and you're going to be a reason why. I know it's a lame tag, but everybody's excited, man. MMA in Chicago, and you're going to be a part of it. How you feeling, you know, going to shine in the Chicago Theater in one of the biggest cities in the world?
I love the chance of the opportunity to compete here.
So when you guys have big moments like this, like big events, and there's so much at stake as it goes on, how are you able to keep all that emotion in check before you guys get into the cage?
Sometimes it's a little tough, but fighting's a weird thing, man. It's so in your face and in the moment that you can't stay nervous the whole time. You're gonna literally, you're gonna be getting punched and kicked in the face. So if you don't snap out of that quick, the fight's gonna end so fast. So you have to. You gotta fight any moment.
How important is it, the team that you guys have around you, and when there's so much high stake and there's so much emotion and you're on such a high stage and, you know, you're trying to play different ends of the spectrum, like how important is it the team and the family and the friends that you surround yourself in these very crucial times?
Well, people will tell you different things. You'll see anything and everything in MMA. I see guys in sports who have their wives in their corner. I see guys who have their kids in the corner. I see guys who have just like high-end coaches in the corner. So everyone has something different that like makes them comfortable, that makes them relaxed. That they feel like they're listened to the best. For me, it's always been my coaches at home on Long Island. I think once in a while, if they can't make it, I have my brother come if he can. But those guys, I think I listen to the best when the chips are down and when you got to get something done. But I think it's crucial that you need to be with whoever makes you comfortable. And different strokes for different folks. Some people, like I said, they'll have their wife in the corner, and you think, well, this doesn't seem like it's the best corner advice, right. But that's what makes them calm. So they got to do what they got to do. For me, like I said, it's my coaches. I feel like I'd be a little distracted if it was my girlfriend or something like that. But some of these guys, that's what they're into. So.
Well, how long did it take you in your game to be able to like take advice, but like also be able to kind of melt pot it with your own stuff? Like, you get these coaches and you have these teammates and you keep these people around you, so they give you this information. But obviously you got here with your talent, your hard work. How are you able to, like, what's the trick to be able to kind of melt both of them, be able to take the advice to heart and also implement it in a game plan?
I think what it takes is a level of respect. Like, obviously you have to believe in yourself, right? If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to go very far in this sport. So I definitely do feel that there's fights where I felt like if my coaches, if God forbid, something happened, they weren't able to attend tomorrow. Worst case scenario, Chris, you're on your own. There's nobody in your corner. I'm still winning the fight in my mind. I'll sit on the stool by myself, think about it, and I'll get it done. But corners, to me, that's like, it's like almost like cheating. Like they have a bird's eye view, this other perspective of you of what's going on, and you get back to the corner or you get near them, and they're gonna help you get that leg up. You know, they saw something that you didn't see, so they're like your eyes in the sky. They're like, hey, you know, he keeps bombing that overhand right, man. We need you to step back and step back in with this. And you're like, damn, you're right. I do need to do that. So I believe in my own abilities as far as I think I could get the job done against anyone I need to, but they can help me put this guy away. They can help me find that chink in the armor to lay him out, you know.
And what do you think was like that moment? Like, where do you think you hit that moment of confidence in yourself? Or do you feel you're still growing in that aspect where, you know, like, yeah, you know what you're bringing to the table, but you do allow yourself that room to grow, and you are comfortable enough with who you are to allow that type of, hey, I know I'm a badass and I'm one of the best in the world that does this, but you know, I'm also willing to take in that I'm a sponge. Like, do you think you're doing that right now, or do you think there was a moment where that turn happened?
I think that I've always somewhat open to criticism and to understanding that I'm not the world's most complete fighter. But at the same time, I think I'm one of the toughest dudes out there as far as, like, you put me in the road with one of these guys, and I feel like I'm walking home, you know? Mm-hmm. So you got to take a little bit of that badass mentality, and you got to mix that in with the fact that somebody can sharpen you up quite a bit. Like, I know that I grew up a wrestler, and I didn't throw a punch, right?
Right.
In a street fight, to admit with a coach until I was like 22 years old.
Oh, wow.
I'm 30 now. So I've only had 8 years of being taught instruction on striking, right? Whereas I've had, since I was probably 6 years old, of being instructed how to take someone down and control them on a mat. So I know where my strengths lie, and I understand where I need growth. So I've been trying to be a sponge in, like, the striking sense. I understand that I have a lot of work to do there, and I've tried to meld that with my ability to control someone by throwing them, taking them down, and that's what makes you, you know, your best self.
Chris, other than kicking butt, man, what do you like to do? You a Netflix guy? You go play basketball? You indulge yourself in Chicago-style pizza when you're in town? What do you do, man?
Man, so I'm a sports nut.
Attaboy.
And I'm a New York guy, so I'm a New York sports nut, basically. But I follow sports, you know, worldwide. I'm a Met, Giant, Ranger, Knicks fan, so things haven't been going so well. It's been a little bit of a depression. I haven't been watching as many games because it brings my spirits down to watch the Mets right now. But that's what makes me tick, you know. I've been an athlete my whole life, so for me, sports makes me go. When I come home and I'm tired from a practice, one way for me to just let my brain relax is to watch the Mets or to watch a Giant game and get together with my friends. That's one of my big things. And the other thing is where we're from, obviously seasonally, but we're very close to the beach on Long Island.
Nice.
So when weather permits, we're doing workouts on the beach during the summertime where we're out with our families and our kids out on the beach kicking it and just relaxing. And you'd think you're somewhere tropical, you know. You are in literally a place where people vacation. So for a couple seasons a year, we get that reprieve as well. But you know how it goes for us in the fall and the winter.
Yeah, no, we live it. Yeah, I hear you. We live it half the year. We're under white stuff. Yeah, Chris, thank you, man. I would say, yeah.
It was blazing hot. I thought it'd be hotter by us, but you guys had an inferno cooking yesterday.
And then you waited 10 minutes and it dropped 20 degrees the next day. Isn't that about something? Chris, I would say, I would say I'm sorry about the Mets, but, you know, after 2015, what you boys did to my Cubs, I don't know if I forgive you, but I want to say thank you for Eli and beating Tom Brady twice. So, I mean, I guess it's give and take, buddy. But hopefully next time you're in town, it's Rangers, Blackhawks, and we'll get you some Chicago pizza.
That would be, we were just talking about crushing some deep fish after the fight, so.
You can't go wrong in this city, man.
That's kind of a spot that we can hit.
Illuminati's, Peapods, anything, brother. Just go, anything in Chicago. And yeah, and don't get fooled, man. Like this urban legend that it's only deep dish. Thin crust, pan, like it's all good. It's all in the sauce and cheese. So you know how it is. You're a New York guy. You know how important that stuff is. It's in the water. Like trust me, you're gonna love it whenever you get it.
In the water.
Yeah,
Exactly.
kick some ass, eat some pizza, and after that we'll have you back on the show, brother, because you're a wonderful ambassador of the sport. And Chris, man, we really appreciate it. Good luck this Thursday. Any last words to Chicago? What they can expect in the Chicago theater?
Come down to the Chicago Theater Thursday, June 21st. Check it out. These fights have been amazing. PFL put on a great show in New York. I was at the Garden. This place was sold out. There wasn't a seat to be had. It was loud. The fights were wild. So just come check it out. Give MMA a shot. If you haven't yet, you're going to love it.
Chris, good health, good luck. Thank you, brother, for joining us on the show, man. You go kick ass.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all of Nicole's work at typingwhentipsy.wordpress.com. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI@kw.com. What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones. Orlando, how you doing,
How
buddy?
you, sir? I'm good, brother. How you doing?
And all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support. Thanks for keeping it with us, guys. Here is our interview with Jason High. Enjoy.
Hello, Mike.
Jason, thank you for joining me, man. How you doing?
Great, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you liking Chicago, buddy?
Man, I love Chicago, bro. I'm from Kansas City. I'm a Midwestern kid. I've been here many times. Chicago's my spot, man.
What has been the biggest difference when it comes to this fight amongst others? I mean, it's part of a brand new brand. It's part of a big deal at the end of it. A lot of money, a lot of notoriety coming off of Madison Square Garden, heading into Chicago. How are you feeling, having this moment to really, showcase your skill and also really have a chance to put an impact on the sport?
I feel great, man. I'm excited to be a part of this new PFL, and I love the new format. And they've been, we saw the first event just a couple weeks ago. The production value was great, so they're putting on a great show. It's very professional,
and I'm excited, man.
Do you train differently when it comes to these type of fights when there is longevity towards it and it's not, because I can imagine for you fighters where it's do or die so many people coming from Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, where it's do or die every single time. Is it a little bit different with this type of format for you guys?
Like, really, I was wrestled in high school and college, so this is really kind of a throwback for me, the tournament format. And the pool, the pool before, the whole format is kind of familiar. I just on being ready early, and having my weight low and just having a good base under me before everything got started. So I think that's the best thing that I could do, previously, preparing for this tournament.
How important is it to have so much discipline? I mean, when it comes to your weight cut, because it's the biggest thing going on in our sport right now, where a lot of guys are missing fights. It's happening in major cities. It's happening in every promotion. In your opinion, how much pride do you take in you always making weight and you always being ready for the situation when it's called for?
I've been making weight since I was like 9 years old. I never missed a mark in my life. So, it's not something I take pride in. It's just something that's become habitual at this point, So, making weight is part of the process. It's always been part of the process for me competing. I started wrestling when I was like 9 or 10, and I pretty much quit all my other sports after that, So, I've been at it for a little bit,
What do you think is one thing you wish fans would kind of see behind the curtains when it comes to the grind you guys go through? Because we know, at least for a lot of us who watch it a lot, we know what you guys put your bodies through and something, but what is something the common fan you wish they would understand a little bit more behind the scenes of what you guys got to go through?
The fans, for the most part, I don't have a problem with it. Generally in the last 5 years, I feel like the fan base has become more knowledgeable, so I really can't hate on the fans and their knowledge, that the only thing I really don't like is like like when those random Ric Flair chants. That's the only thing that bothers me about the fan base. But, you can't control the fans and they pay good money to come see you, so they get to do what they want,
No, I get it. And that's part, like you were saying, it's part of being the pro in that scenario. I get it. But, do you get a chance to be a fan of the sport? Do you get a chance to really enjoy all the other promotions? The pool of depth of talent is amazing right now.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't know if I consider it a fan, but I definitely am a student of the game. So, I watch a lot of MMA, and even nowadays with YouTube and all the internet and all that stuff, you can see fights from around the world as they happen or right after they happen. So, I watch a lot of MMA and try to pick things up from other people, see what's working, what's not, So, yeah, I'd say that there are a few people that maybe I'm a fan of, but for the most part, I consider myself more of a student.
Jason, let me ask you this. When Thursday comes around and the spotlight's on you and you do what you do best, what can Chicago expect from you?
I'm going out there, man. I'm going out there to finish. I like to finish fights, but I'm not looking for the finish, and I'm fighting hard all 3 rounds, so... entertainment isn't my prime directive, but entertainment is a byproduct of my style, So I'm going out there to get the dub, man. That's all I'm caring about.
What do you would like to say to any of your fans, Jason, in the Midwest, Kansas City, everybody listening to us here in Chicago? What would you like to tell everybody who supports you?
Chicago, I'll see you Thursday night at the Chicago Theater. Come support your Midwestern boy.
Jason, go hang out, man. Relax. Good health. Good luck, brother. Glad to have you in our city. You have a home here, and can't wait to talk to you after all the success, buddy.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
Another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all of Nicole's work at typingwhentipsy.wordpress.com. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI@kw.com. Thank you again to Sean O'Connell, Chris Wade, Jason High, and hometown kid Will Brooks for joining us before their huge night at the Chicago Theater Thursday, June 21st at 5 p.m. Central. Tickets are still available right now. It's going to be a hell of a fight. The road to $10 million comes through Chicago as the Professional Fighters League invades the Chicago Theater. I'm Mike Mercado. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next time here on the Mercado Airwaves Network.